As the future game developers of Benilde, we, alongside many other young game developers, are given a role of being the generation that will expand the game industry into brand new heights than the previous generation. In this vlog, Elijah and I, Ryan Vasquez, will be talking about the genre Metroidvania. To learn more about Metroidvania, I am leaving it to Elijah to explain.
Metroidvania is a 2D video game where players are focused on traversing the map to collect items. The more items collected by the player, the stronger your in-game character and further opens locked areas of the world for more exploration. Also combines elements of a platformer game with a storyline of a role-playing game, otherwise known as RPG. Why is the Metroidvania genre appealing to many? It's because of how replayable the game is. The game is focused on exploration, progressing more into the game, opens up the world more. But still, after finishing the game, many items are hidden, requires backtracking, and sometimes requires certain skills or certain requirements to unlock it. Meaning, even after you finish the game, there are still a lot more content to take in.
It started with a game called Metroid in 1986, created by Nintendo. This is where the player would play as a bounty hunter named Samus Aran, who protects the galaxy from space pirates and their attempts to harness the power of the parasitic Metroid creatures. This game has combined the platforming of Super Mario Bros. And the exploration of The Legend of Zelda with a science fiction setting. Players battle hostile alien enemies and obtain power-ups as they progress through the game world. It has been said that Metroid was the most influential game for the Metroidvania genre, as it focused heavily on exploration as players would control Samus and look for power-ups to reach previously inaccessible areas. This was also Nintendo's attempt to create a non-linear game that would stand out from other games at the time, and it was one of the first games to contain multiple endings. This series became popular, and future titles refined the exploration approach while also adding in more story elements. Such is the case with Nintendo's Super Metroid in 1994. The latest addition to the Metroid series improved on the aspects from the previous Metroid game, such as adding more diverse locations and adding many secrets for players to find. These secrets would enable players to find ways to break the expected sequence the developers had planned the players to do. However, Super Metroid was considered as an example of a highly polished non-linear platform, and the Metroidvania series would not come to life until the popularity of Castlevania. Castlevania, also known in Japan as Akumajo Dracula, was a gothic horror action-adventure video game series and media franchise about vampire hunters created and developed by Konami. It was a game where it was largely set in the eponymous castle of Count Dracula, the main antagonist of the Belmont clan of vampire hunters. This game had managed to gain popularity, and it would be soon followed by the game Vampire Killer, created in 1986, and Castlevania II: Simon's Quest, created in 1987, both of which experimented with a non-linear style of adventure, before the series eventually turned to the more linear style of the original Castlevania. However, series lead Koji Igarashi saw that while veteran players would race through the stages of subsequent sequels, newcomers would struggle. To combat this, Igarashi and his team looked to incorporate gameplay elements such as RPG mechanics for player progression, large interconnected maps to explore, and key items to open up inaccessible areas. These elements were used in 1997's Castlevania Symphony of the Night, leading to it becoming a massive success. The release of both Super Metroid and Castlevania Symphony of the Night had created the foundation for the Metroidvania genre. Over time, the Metroidvanias that followed used the same style of gameplay, such as the case of Cave Story. Developed by Daisuke Amaya, it was made as a homage to Metroid and was praised. Soon after that, Shadow Complex, created by Chair Entertainment, Drinkbox Studios' Guacamelee, Moon Studios' Ori and the Blind Forest, and Team Cherry's Hollow Knight would be created and would receive critical acclaim and would serve as examples of modern indie Metroidvanias. Despite being made by different people, they all had common aspects: the feature of non-linear exploration with backtracking and upgrades, as well as borrowing RPG elements such as magic, leveling, and character progression.
As a descriptor, first comes to mind is the game's unique and distinct playstyle. However, there are other terms such as Mario clone and Doom clone. If the game consists of jumping over obstacles and jumping on enemies, it could be called a Mario clone. If it's a first perspective game shooting at demons or monsters, it's called as a Doom clone. These games didn't have a proper genre, and like we do as a lot of stuff, we just describe games by comparing it to other similar ones. Though this might work for now, but it will be problematic in the future, as it doesn't do anything to describe the game. Because the term Metroidvania is a combination of two games played similarly, such as Metroid and Castlevania, specifically Castlevania Symphony of the Night. Games similar to these have been defined as this term Metroidvania for over 20 years now. Because of this, maybe this genre can be called platform adventures, as most of the games in the Metroidvania genre is just a combination of a platform and an adventure game. Also, by renaming this genre to platform adventures, new incoming players will now know what type of game that they're about to play.
Despite not being as popular as genres such as the MOBA, it has still managed to become popular in the indie game development industry. Games such as Hollow Knight, Guacamelee, and Ori and the Blind Forest have managed to gain lots of praise from the internet, with Hollow Knight's upcoming sequel, Hollow Knight Silksong, managing to generate hype for its arrival. Though it is hard to tell the future of the genre, we speculate that the continuous evolution of the gaming industry will also affect the Metroidvania genre, taking influences from other genres and games. After all, Hollow Knight was influenced by other games, as stated by William Pellet of Team Cherry, the creator of Hollow Knight. Early games like Super Metroid, Castlevania, Zelda 2, and Faxanadu were all big influences on the inception and development of the game.
The Metroidvanias today are a result of the imagination of many independent creators. What was once a separate game idea has now been combined, creating a whole genre, further expanding on the gaming industry. As it continues to grow, it will continue to inspire others to improve on the present features to make way for future features that may spark new gaming ideas that will continue to make the gaming industry flourish.